This video sees us take a look at Cliffe Fort, built in the 1860s to defend the Thames on the Hoo Peninsula in Kent. It saw modification in the First and Second World Wars, such as the gun pits modified for World War II anti-aircraft use, with the observation tower seen here. The fort's marshy location led to it becoming flooded, and it stands derelict, guarded and highly dangerous to enter today. At the start of the video, we also take a look at Salt Lane's World War II air raid shelters made for industrial workers, and a nearby ruined Nine Elms cement kiln built between 1866 and 1868. The rest of the video is an informal record of our adventure through the fort, as it has already been so thoroughly documented online already. Here you can see the launch pad for the world's first practical guided missile, the Brennan torpedo, which defended the river from the fort. Join us as we venture inside the huge complex in a state of decay. Hi guys, we're down in Cliffe today in Kent. We are going to be checking out Cliffe Fort, an amazing piece of Victorian history which we haven't been to since 2013.
And when we visited the fort then, it was actually on our camping trip, and those of you who have followed us for years, you will remember. If not, give that video a rewatch. It's certainly one of our classics. But today we've got the GoPro, we've got the drone, and hopefully we're going to try and get in.
So then, off a normal roadside, you'll be surprised what you can find, such as World War II air raid shelter. There we go. It's a little bit dark in here. There's a sort of toilet area. We've got some better pictures of these on our site. I don't know if you can see that much, but it doesn't go down very far. It talks in the bag, but mine ain't light enough to do it as a video.
Yeah, phone one's not really great. Just enough to see what there is.
And this was for the Salt Lane factory, I think, which is now sort of where the gravel works is, down in Cliffe.
And of course you come out and you're never really far away from another one. There's one right there, although inside it's pretty similar to the other one that you've just been in.
Gotta get everything. There we go. This one looks like it's got a bit more rubbish on the floor. But all those people walking down this road, they've got absolutely no idea that all this is here. I mean, these shelters saved people's lives back in World War II. So one of the sites I thought we'd quickly show you that we've not filmed before on the way to the fort is this old kiln. So basically it's like a giant Lego brick. It's like a big rectangle, and there's sort of chimneys, circular holes in the top of this Lego brick where the fumes and the smoke and the steam would have came through or whatever. And you can see inside it there's some like chalk and bits in there. Sort of have a look around it. And also next to this site there was some ditches which are really overgrown, but those were, I think, World War I practice trenches or defensive trenches, although there's not all that much info about those. But this is quite a big old building. Just thought it's worth showing, although the GoPro's not the best for making the most of these places. You're better off looking at our high quality photographs. But look in there. See, you can climb up this way onto the top. And we're up on top. Well, hey. So there you go. This is the old cement kiln, and this entire wall is just leaning so much it's kind of making me a bit worried to be up here. But look, there you go. This is the inside of the kiln, obviously overgrown an awful lot.
Looking it up on our B2P websites, this is the Nine Elms cement site, established in 1867. And of course what you see here is the only remains of of what is left today, which does resemble an L shape. If you go to where we parked down Salt Lane near the air raid shelters, originally there would have been some workmen cottages around there. But for now, this is all that's left.
Getting near to the fort, guys, but we've got to find our way up. Sneaking down there. Got to get in there. Oh, we are in. There we go. Right, we're gonna have to work our way over there, aren't we? But we need to find a way down. This isn't the way. It's all flooded on the lower level, as I'm sure people that know about this place will know. It's quite a well-known place. This is why we thought we'd keep the video quite informal, because I'm sure you've seen and heard all about it before. It's like something out of Indiana Jones. Look at it. It's like a sort of swamp temple, but it's actually a Victorian defensive fort from, it was one of the Palmerston forts. And these were set up in case of a French invasion on England, which never happened and arguably was unlikely to happen, and this was a big waste of money. But they got built anyway, and hundreds of these forts, thousands even perhaps, across the whole country were built in a couple of years at great expense. So we've got to cross this really narrow wall. Check this is working. Oh my god, no, don't, yeah, watch out, because it's really bloody high. Don't look down. This takes some guts. Look at this, look how high it is. Holy, this is horrible. As you can tell, I'm not a fan of this. Focus, relax.
I thought you were alright with heights.
Guys, that is what we've just walked across. You can see why I crawled the entire length. I must look like a riot to everyone around. But look at the drop. I mean, that's an entire castle wall we've climbed across.
Now to climb a castle wall, we've been watching our own videos.
Now, and we've got to get down there.
Oh, that doesn't look...
Ooh. I nearly went right on his foot. I literally saw like his foot at the bottom.
0 points for style.
We've made it, guys. It's been quite a test for me, I won't lie. God, well, we've actually made it inside the fort at least, so now we can actually crack on with the exploring rather than bricking it, trying to get in.
But whether or not we can get out, well, that's another issue.
We've made it in. This is the area where we can start to actually have a look at the inside of the fort. Obviously the bottom level is flooded, so it's quite difficult to actually get down there, and then obviously once you're down you're going to need some sort of waders or something, which we haven't got today. But I did see that sub-exploration, they actually went down to the lower level and had a look around there, so they've got good video if you're interested in seeing that. There's all kinds of drops and dodgy stuff in this place. It's more dangerous than I remember it. But then, I guess you only remember that you survived. And up here I think we've got World War II observation tower or something. Obviously that was added later. Got some sort of room in here. Not really much in there, a couple of firing slits. And look at all those lower levels, they've crumbled away so much. Look, all the fronts have crumbled. At some point that would have been fully functioning place with all soldiers going around here on the defence. And now we're inside. So look in here, Joe's over there. Getting a few shots.
Still got the old original mechanism in off the top here.
Look at that. Cool. And this.
Yep.
Some sort of wood on the floor. It's a big old place. Very big place. So, in case you're wondering, that is where the gun would have looked out to the River Thames back in the day, and there's obviously loads of guns all the way around this place. Just noticed up here we've still got some original wood with some sort of beige coloured paint on. Let's go through and have a look. What do you reckon, Chris?
Yeah, it's pretty sick.
Enough said, I think.
Pretty decent.
Michael, what do you think of this?
Fantastic.
You a fan, yeah?
5-star hotel, mate. No, it's good. I like it.
Could be an Airbnb. So I think this was where they slid the gun round on like a rail system. Or actually, no, probably like shutters. So they'd have like shutters, they'd open them up and then the gun would be facing out. All the old brickwork and stuff. You don't get this with the World War II defences that are just concrete blocks. People are getting mad about where their taxis are going now. But back in the Victorian era, despite the horrific levels of poverty that you had in places like London, like some of the cities, and the slums and everything, the people high up, the elites, would just like, sod it, let's just put it all into a massive fort that's never going to get used against the French that weren't even going to invade England at the time that these were built. So as you can imagine, that caused quite a bit of uproar back in the day. So scandal is nothing new, but let's be honest, as much as these never got used in anger, these sorts of forts, they are really cool to explore, and they're cool to give us an insight into that era of history and architecture even. Look at this one. I think we got a photo here back in 2013. We're not alone here. It's pigeons, obviously. It's big, but not quite as big as what I remembered. But I think that's probably just because this was one of our first sort of big explores. So being one of our first big explores, I think this was all very surprising to us, and it's still really cool. But one of our recent videos, Fort Gilkicker, it's one of the Palmerston forts as well. So it's the same fort type, built for the same reason, but that was down near Portsmouth. And I went there a couple of months ago, and that was pretty much like this, but not overgrown and falling down. It was in a bad state, but the building structurally was fairly complete, and that was absolutely amazing. There's still like bits of sort of furniture broken up in there, although in here it's sort of more of a kind of ruin. So yeah, well, I guess once you've seen one of these forts from this era, you've seen more or less them all, but it is quite nice just to see the variety. And this bit is actually massive. This is a lot bigger. Right, I'll take it all back. Take it all back. This is actually massive in here. Look at that. That is one of our classic photos. This is the photograph that we took back in the day, and you can see why. But it's a cool place, and obviously for some reason these guns were not separated by separate walls. Why that was, I don't really know. Perhaps they were lighter guns or something. And look, you've got the rails for the guns to slide around on the floor. And look at this, don't really know what it is, as with a lot of the things in here, unfortunately. But look, whatever it is, it leads down to a huge hole going down to the bottom floor. So something goes down a level here. Crikey. Little dark passage there. So we're going in a bit here that's dark. So Joe's got his torch. Just with the entrance on the other side there. So it carries on going quite a bit in this dark area. See, I reckon these things in the ceiling, these are all hatches for some sort of ammunition lift. Or holes for something because of the battery on top. There you go, there's the way to the bottom. If someone misbehaves, you can just push them straight in. It's quite weird coming back here because it's been so long. You know, I don't actually have much memory of what it's like beyond the photographs. So now we see it sort of comes back and it almost feels like a new place as well, although we've been here. It almost does feel new. Look, there's these sort of metal shutters on the ceiling. So that could be for ammo for the battery on top, or it could just be some kind of skylight. Not too sure. As Joe was just saying, it's the sort of fault that it does look beautiful for photos and stuff. It's really aesthetically pleasing. Look at it. It is stunning. Especially, I mean, I know it's a shame that the bottom's flooded, but it does add this kind of swampy, jungly vibe to it. And it's great for photographs. And to be honest, it doesn't look like it's changed or even deteriorated much since we last came here. Probably because it did have a spell where the security was really tight on this. But look at it. If you've been to Coalhouse Fort in Essex, opposite on the Thames, or Seanmead Fort further along the coast in Kent, those are two other examples of Palmerston faults. So we've made in some more stuff, which we didn't think we'd actually get to. Outside there, it's been stripped. So there's no metal railings, there's no metal stairs, there's very little metal inside. So whether that was done almost to discourage people from coming in here, or whether someone just wanted the metal, who knows, but there's not very much of it left. As you come in here, you can see what Liam was saying about the ceilings, the fact that they would have actually been lined with wood on the surface of the concrete. So this whole room would have had a wooden roof, effectively, although very little of it remains today. I mean, to be fair, this is a beautiful room in the sunshine. Look at it. It's hitting the sun perfectly at the moment. Let's have a little look. Yeah, wouldn't be surprised if that comes down on us anytime soon. Oh yeah, it does. Keeps on going.
No,
I think it was a bird, wasn't it? Yeah. Don't touch the beams if you can avoid it. Even this floor, don't know how stable this is. There's all this solid concrete. God knows what's beneath it, and they've had these massive metal RSJ type things fall on them.
Someone's left a sock here.
So I don't think we ever got into this section last time. Someone's left their sock. Why would you leave a sock here? Look, it's a whole new area, guys. Look at this. Not been in here before. Just watch the floor. I don't think we've been in here before.
Oh wow.
Look at those steps. See, each step was made out of some kind of thick stone, like granite. It almost looks like slate in a way it's laid off, but I'm not sure it is. Sandstone perhaps, don't know, limestone. perhaps even a local stone. And it does go down there. Why not have a look? See, this is the way, if you do want to explore the lower level, if you've got waders, this is the way down. Whoa, I'm nearly slipping off of here. There we go. This is a big old area. So this could have been some sort of barracks area, quarters for the staff and the soldiers working on the guns. This could have been offices, administration. It could have been anything like that. I'm sure there'll be a plan of the building somewhere online. I don't know if you can see that, but there's little birds' feet. Seagulls, perhaps, something. Quite peaceful, actually, walking around here. Perhaps sort of being on the verge of peril adds to a sense of peace. So what I think we're going to do now is get some good photographs. Joe's got on loads, but I need to get some myself. You can see the guys, Joe and Chris over there. Look at the size of this place though. Wicked. Pretty cool.
So we're just about to leave the fort now. We've climbed across that wall bit over there, and I tell you what, that wasn't fun. Here's some photos that I took of Liam on his hands and knees trying to get across. I have to confess, I did the same thing. My hands and my knees now really sting, but that wasn't fun. We're now going to head back to the car once we're out of the rest of the fort.